All right, I'm Steve Harris. I'm thinking about calling this Steve Rants, Steve Walking Talks. Of course, we're not walking today. And this is my wife, Danielle.
Hey guys.
And anyway, I just want to say, I was a jailer for 15 years at Oklahoma County. Did that for 15 years before I retired. And anyway, they went to video visitations. And they told me it's to keep the contraband down, and I believed it. I mean, great, keeps contraband down. So years later, just 3 weeks ago, I had a friend of mine go to jail, and the jail, Canadian County, uses something like Prodigy Sales. So you got to put money on it, put money on that account, and then the inmate has to call you. Well, that first week, she tried to call family and friends that put money on it, and she couldn't get through to us. She couldn't get through to us, and anyway, I was very upset. It was distraught. It's a whole different deal when you got a friend or a relative in there. Yeah, she couldn't get hold of her family, and I was she was going through it, but I was mentally distraught. I was upset. She couldn't get hold of none of her family or friends. You're in there, staring at nothing but four walls and a roof. That few days to a week seems like a month. And anyway, I think visitation should go behind glass. To have to visit your family and your friends behind a video, or a young man will have to see his wife and kid behind a video. It should go back behind glass. Have some type of personal contact. So anyway, I immediately started firing off letters when she couldn't get through to me. And then the following week, she was able to get in contact with a friend from church, and all that did wonders for her. She cried when she actually heard a familiar voice. After not being able to get hold of nobody for a week. Then later on that week, she was able to get hold of her grandmother through a phone call, and that did wonders for her. But I found out my letters, they was open, my letters and probably some other family members' letters. And she, when I was a jailer, they opened the letters, read them, because they're looking for hidden codes and stuff. They read them, and they handed the envelope and the letter to the inmate. That way they had to have a personal connection with whoever wrote the letter. And now they do it behind an iPad. They photograph them, they upload them on an iPad, so the inmate now has to read the letters behind an iPad at Canadian County. I don't know if all of them are doing it now or not. And I think that's cruel and inhumane. They're denied personal contact from a family or a friend. I think it's cruel, and I think it's inhumane. And you start seeing it for what it is. It's when you gotta pay money for your loved one to talk to you, your friend to talk to you, in a nutshell, it's extortion, or even human trafficking. They're making money at the expense of somebody else. Their crime, their punishment is to be locked away from society, not to be denied contact between family and friends. That means a lot for them to be able to get out and get back on their feet and stuff. And here's what my wife wants to say.
Yeah,
your old face.
I do. And also, it is cruel and inhumane. It ought to go back to being behind glass, or even a call to their family or friends. That way they got the choice to answer or not, instead of clicking whenever the family or friends try to pick up on the phone. And that way they can know that they are actually talking to them, because the friend or family members, all they get is a text or email and then you gotta hit accept call or allow this site just to talk to the inmate,
friend
or family member. And they don't even see anything besides the four walls. They don't get to go outside for rec either, from what we were told.
Oh yeah, Canadian County, they've got an outdoor yard, and I drive by there twice a day. I go out there to, eat my lunch outside those walls. while my friend's in there and pray for her. And I never see male inmates or any female out there in the outdoor rec area. I don't know. Is that for show? Is that for a dog and pony show? I don't know. Anyway, I just think it's cruel and inhumane. There's no, at least at Canadian County, they at least had glass blocks that the light could shine through. At Canadian County, they have skylights, and even that's dim. And these people don't know probably what time of day it is. They don't know if it's dusk, dawn, or for all I know, there's not even clocks in there. I mean, Canadian County, they at least had clocks in the pods. They might have been off. Everyone might have been offset by 5 or 10 minutes, but they at least had a clock. But anyway, it's just I feel like the way they're treated is cruel and inhumane. Their punishments to be locked away from society, not denied contact, personal contact behind glass, or have an actual letter, tangible letter in hand.
And if the family doesn't have money to put on their account, that isn't right either.
Oh yeah.
Shouldn't cost family money for them to put on the account just to answer.
Oh yeah, and some families can't afford this. They got loved ones in jail, and they can't afford to keep putting money on the books. Like I say, it's cruel and inhumane to the inmate as well as to the inmates' families, and contrary to what most of us grew up believing. I mean, not everybody that's in jail is bad. Anybody and everybody can go to jail for the dumbest thing. And everything. Anybody and everybody can go to jail for the dumbest thing. That's something I found out my first month working for the county. Booking people in. Yeah, I mean, there's a book this thick, a quarter of an inch thick, nothing but jailable misdemeanors. So they have a reason to stop you, question you, and at their discretion take you to jail. Stuff we've all done. Jaywalking. We've might have stubbed our toe out in public and said the explicit cuss word or two. I mean, we've all done it, but yeah, they can take you to jail for that. So anybody can go to jail for the dumbest thing, and then to go to jail and not be able to deny a visit, a personal visit behind glass, or a personal letter but you got to read through an iPad. Anyway, that's my that's my rant. I'm not happy. I'm thinking about how distraught my friend was that first week. I mean, she's never gotten in trouble in her life, and to go through that. Anyway, that's all I got to say for now. Thank you. Bye. Okay, now let's